In today's 5-minute tip, I wanted to talk to you about something that I see in a lot of colleges, a lot of FE institutions. It's what I call not invented here. And it's an issue where the marketing and IT departments often get involved in the creation of things like websites or new software, for example, CRM, customer relationship management software. Now, what happens here is that someone decides that instead of outsourcing the work, they'll try to do it in-house. So they'll appoint someone of either the IT or marketing teams to undertake the work. Now, it's not that these people aren't good at what they do, it's just that this isn't their field of expertise. So what often happens, and the one I've seen happen most often, is where someone in the IT department, someone that's actually a very good network engineering person, decides that actually, yes, they once did a website for someone and they could very, very easily produce and design a website for a college. So off they go and do it. But the problem is they're not skilled. Not in this area anyway. As I say, probably good network engineers or even good software engineers, but not website designers. You see, websites are very specific. It's a bit like saying, well, I need major surgery, let's say orthopedic surgery, so I'll need obviously someone with medical background, so let's choose a dentist, or a bit closer, let's choose a chiropodist because it's my leg that needs operating on. Well, clearly, it's a very stupid thing to do. What you need is an orthopedic surgeon, not someone that's got an associated area. Quite the same with designing websites. What we don't want is someone with a good IT networking background that doesn't actually understand either marketing itself or website design. Usually it ends up being they don't understand either of these. There are companies out there like Microsoft and Google and hundreds of other suppliers that have designed this type of software or these types of websites, and they have spent literally thousands and thousands of hours in developing them. They've probably had huge budgets of possibly, £1 million or more, and then they've tested very, very thoroughly. There's no way that one or even two or three people in a college IT department is going to successfully replicate what the likes of Google or Microsoft can do. We just don't have those budgets. Now, in recent months, we've seen sites like FE Choice's website spend £600,000 on design. Colleges and other FE providers don't have those budgets. We have to produce websites for thousands, possibly a few tens of thousands, but bigger budgets are impossible. So that's the reason why we often see IT departments saying that they can actually produce these websites much cheaper, but they don't have those skills. The downside is if we allow them to continue and do this work, what we'll find is that we'll have a substandard system, usually reliant on one or two or maybe three people. But if those people move on, then there's no one there that actually understands how the software system or the website has been designed and put together. If there's a crash, the result is that recruitment can drop dramatically. In fact, online recruitment could cease altogether. And there's also a reputational risk of when the website goes down. The answer? Well, there are two answers basically. One is to use open source software. This is software that's actually designed by an individual or a small group of people, but then they allow other experts in the field to come in and upgrade the software they've produced over sometimes months, years even. The beauty of this is it's free. There's no annual licensing costs to it. And you've had a lot of people involved in producing it. People with real expertise that are doing the work every day of the year. That's a big difference from the person in the IT department who's dedicating a few hours to this and doing their full-time day job as well. The other way of doing it, of course, is to go direct to software or website experts outside, to actually outsource the job completely. Now, I mentioned FE Choice's website earlier, which allegedly cost £600,000 to design. We don't have those budgets. So a website going to an external source may well cost thousands of pounds, maybe a few tens of thousands of pounds. But when you look at that in terms of the value of a student, we can see that we don't need very many students recruited to actually recoup the cost of the website design. And if we're talking about things like software design, maybe a CRM system, experts would normally take proprietary systems off the shelf and adapt it to our needs. At the end of the day, all CRM systems are exactly the same. It's just the fields that we use that we alter to work for the conditions and situation we have. So they can be actually produced relatively cheaply if you know what you're doing. So the answer is, don't go for the situation where we have something that's not invented here and therefore isn't any good and we can do better. That's not the situation at all. It's always far more beneficial and helpful to actually go outside and either buy in a system through an expert or using an open source software system.